Hello and welcome to another edition of Bonus Features with Alex and Robert. I'm Alex.
And I'm Robert.
And today we're going to talk about movies and stuff. And it's a new year, and this is the first episode of 2020. Which also means we're doing a new format, so to catch our reviews, those will be on separate videos from now on. So before we get to movies, it's time to talk our 2-minute pointless interlude about sports. And it'll probably be over 2 minutes.
It will.
So, Connor Cerrone... Or Connor Cowboy, excuse me.
Yes.
Well, it's kind of one of those Captain Hindsight moments where I thought, I probably should have seen this coming. But at the same time, something just felt off about it.
Yeah.
I mean, it just, something, I don't know. Cowboy just covered up kind of quickly. Mm-hmm. It's just, something was just weird. I just didn't expect Connor to catch him that cleanly.
Yeah.
With kind of one of his signature moves.
Yeah, and
the high kick.
Yeah, I get what you mean. I for one, I was really shocked at how not well publicized, but how much attention this got. Like my dad saw this at a B-Dubs and like it was standing room only, which I know it's Connor, but I was shocked. I didn't feel like this was like had the build up that, Connor Khabib had,
Yeah. Well, probably there's a good chance we'll see that fight.
What's
that? The rematch.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Interesting question is, at what weight class?
I don't know. Welterweight, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, that might be down the line, though, because if they're going to do that, it has to be for the championship again, so...
Right.
Well, Connor's got to go through Murderer's Row at welterweight.
Yeah, he does.
Have fun fighting Kamaru Usman, Tyron Woodley, and... Jorge Masvidal.
Yeah, no.
and the trilogy's there. Like, that's no guaranteed victory, obviously.
Right.
The trilogy being against Nate Diaz again, obviously. And then, what's weird? I feel like he could beat Colby Covington.
Connor?
Yeah, I might be.
I think so.
I don't know. Like, I feel like he could.
Mm-hmm.
I mean...
Those are two personalities.
That's the other thing. You imagine what a shit show the press conference would be.
That's gonna be so much fun.
I hate that that's such a part of the sport, but
yeah,
I'd be lying if I said that I wouldn't tune into some of the antics.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know what you mean.
Can't all be Lyoto Machida and Wonder Boy and those kinds of guys. I guess.
Oh, man.
What an antiquated way to just be a humble person and fight. How weird. Anyway.
Yeah.
So that's cool. Upcoming, we've got John Jones is fighting again against Dominic Reyes. And then a big one is Israel Adesanya versus Yoel Romero in March. So that'll be a real good one. So speaking of Israel Adesanya, did you see his elaborate dance when he entered the ring against Robert Whittaker? Yeah. That was like some Super Bowl shuffle shit. You got to be really confident that you're going to kick someone's ass if you're going to do that.
He's a character, man. A good one.
He really... Yeah, see, he's a good character. Mm-hmm. He's not an asshole. I'm a big fan of Izzy. Oh, yeah. So I'll be pulling for him. Mm-hmm. I like Yoel Romero, too, but, you know...
It'll be a good fight.
Yeah, that'll be a good one. So I guess that'll do it for MMA.
Mm-hmm.
What else we got? Foosball.
Oh, remember the beginning of this year I was lamenting? I was like, Patriots are going to win. Well, I ate my damn words. They're gone.
Good.
They got knocked out by the Titans. They didn't even make it to the AFC Championship.
Now, to be fair, did the Patriots not have a few key injuries? Am I crazy?
No, I mean they're pretty good. Like I would say the weaknesses of the Patriots was honestly offensively. I think Brady is clearly showing signs of age now.
Yeah,
and they didn't have Antonio Brown this year either.
Yeah,
I mean he got but that was shocking. I expected them to beat the Titans, and that did not happen. But
same. What's up with the Titans? Derrick Henry, what a badass!
What a badass indeed.
I wasn't 100% sure on it, but I was starting to think I wouldn't be surprised if they beat the Chiefs.
No, it was looking like it, but they pulled a Belichick in the fourth quarter, in the second half, where it's like, no, we're just gonna lie and wait, and then we're just gonna fuck this whole game up.
Yeah.
And this is the first Super Bowl in a while where I've honestly, it's been the dream matchup. It's like, yep, the best NFC team, best AFC team are playing each other, I think.
Yeah, I would say it's at least like close to that, if not the very best.
The Ravens, though, I thought they were going all the way.
Yeah,
I'm like, what the fuck happened?
That's what I mean by it's close. Is 'cause
Right.
the Ravens I thought were almost a shoo-in.
They weren't all that.
You know, it's the Titans cleared the field for the Chiefs almost.
This one, it's like
I feel like this is Mahomes is just on the warpath. I think this is his year.
I would be very happy for him to win.
Yeah,
Because I like Andy Reid, and Andy Reid's never won. But then again, even if the Niners win, I would like it. Because I like Kyle Shanahan a lot.
Yeah, I'm kind of
like
conflicted.
Jimmy G's a cool guy.
Yeah, Jimmy Garoppolo, Bosa,
Bosa, like
Bossa, whatever.
yeah, I like them.
Just sounds like a bad guy in a Van Damme movie. Get him, Bosa! Bosa smash!
But no, football's been doing things as well.
I'm conflicted though. It's weird. This is the first Super Bowl in a while where I'm not choosing between two teams I hate.
Yeah,
I don't mind either one of these teams.
No, me neither.
Although as a fake, real fake, semi kind of sort of Cowboys fan, I guess I'm supposed to hate the Chiefs or whatever. But who cares?
Yeah, I don't got a beef with them really.
Yeah,
I like Mahomes and I like Andy Reid too much, and
Right.
Travis Kelce I kind of like too. But
True.
and then
It'll be a good game though.
I think so. The big game, as it were.
Yes.
Oh man, have you been keeping up with what's going on in MLB?
No. Oh no, all the cheating shit. Yeah.
The worst cheating scandal since the fucking Black Sox scandal.
I didn't realize it was that bad.
It's that fucking bad.
Wow.
It's not just the Astros, dude. Did you hear what happened?
Well, I'd heard something about the Astros and the guy getting kicked out of the park or whatever.
Well, they were stealing signs. They had
Yeah.
a camera set up in center field, and they were stealing signs, and they were using technology, wristbands that would vibrate to tell whoever's at the plate what pitch was coming, whether it was a slider or an off-speed pitch or a fastball.
Okay.
So guess what? This wasn't just the Astros.
Oh, wow.
This was the Red Sox, too. And it's not just that. MLB Twitter is a fucking dumpster fire right now.
Is it now?
It has become an open season on cheating scandals. People are accusing, like MLB insiders are accusing Mike Trout of using PEDs that are indetectable by the current system. It is a fucking nightmare right now. It's been the weirdest offseason ever. People are getting fired.
So they're just going full Jay Glazer mode on this?
It is insane.
Yeah.
It's kind of awesome.
Wow.
Only awesome because the Cubs haven't been implicated in any of this shit, or the Sox.
Yeah.
This explains why we suck. We're the only ones that haven't been cheating.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Right.
Well, it's like, Nate Diaz said it. He's like, man, I'm clean, but everyone's on steroids.
Yeah.
What if Nate Diaz wasn't just talking about MMA?
Could
What if
very
he's
well
talking
be.
about all sports?
It could very well be.
That's true. Okay, so the Blackhawks they're doing better.
They're doing better than the other team in the United Center.
That's true. The Hawks they're kind of clawing their way back up.
Mm-hmm.
Last I checked, they're on the verge of being a wild card team at the very least.
That's good.
We've seen a little improvement. Kaner got his 1,000th point.
Nice.
Yeah, it was badass.
Good on him.
Yeah, and that's that with them.
And the Bulls suck.
Yeah, so that's sports. Unless you have any pressing matters in that intense rolling down the hill thing.
What is that? Like the barrel rolls?
The race where they just do extreme, they just roll with their body and it looks like they're hurting themselves real bad.
Somersaulting or just rolling horizontally?
I can't remember if it's log roll style or somersault. Looks like it hurts like hell.
How do you control where you're going? Because when you're...
They don't.
I was going to say, I always remember doing that as a kid, log rolling, and I would just end up where the fuck am I now? I'm in the parking lot. I rolled over the fucking curb and hurt my head.
You just fall into a ditch and all of a sudden you find a new dimension.
You're in Narnia now. It's what the fuck is going on?
It's that's the last time I do this.
Yeah. No, that shit's weird, but
nah,
I guess it'd be fun.
Just try and YouTube it, just extreme downhill roll. I don't know what the hell you'd look for, but yeah, that's that. All right, so now moving on to the show, the news. All right. So we start off with the 2020 Oscars nominations list. It's in, and weirdly enough, I've seen most of the movies.
You've seen all of the movies nominated for Best Picture, right?
But that was only because normally when they release it, I've seen maybe 3 or 4 tops. And so this time I thought, well, I've already seen 6 of these. 2 of these are on Netflix, and I'd only need to see 1 more in theaters. So I just finished off and saw the other 3. So yeah, this is the first time I think ever that I've seen all of them.
And?
Well, there's some good ones.
Yeah, this is one of the weird years where I've seen almost all of them too, and like
still not going to watch the Oscars.
No, I don't blame you.
I plan on watching, as tradition states, a couple of crappy movies. This year's lineup is pretty solid. Mm-hmm. We got some Phantom starring Billy Zane.
Oh, okay.
And Rock and Roll High School starring PJ Souls.
Okay, not too bad.
And the Ramones for about 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's not a bad lineup.
Oh, it's going to be craptastic.
I'll expect a full report on February, the week of.
I'm still not
February
watching.
9th.
I'm, I guess, kind of interested in the winners. Sure, kind of, not really.
Some of them are notably some of our favorite movies of this past year.
Well, let's start with Best Picture. Mm-hmm. What do we got?
So for Best Picture, we have Ford v. Ferrari, The Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, Joker, Little Women, Marriage Story, 1917, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Parasite. Now, yeah, that resonates as being like, yeah, I think those are the lesser movies on there, like Jojo Rabbit. I know you didn't care for, but I at least thought was
I didn't think it was. I thought it was like fine.
Yeah,
I didn't think it was all that great.
But like the top end of that movie, of that list of movies, is like these are like some of the best movies I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
Like Parasite is a clear contender for one of the best movies in many years. Like maybe a couple, 4 or 5 years I've seen.
Yeah.
It's fucking good. But a lot of people...
I feel like something's wrong if all the movies I liked were nominated.
It's very weird. It's like...
Something feels off.
This is one of the only years where I've been like pretty fine with the nominees. Yeah. And that being a key thing, which is like some people were upset about some things not being nominated, but like I'm not upset if something doesn't get nominated if I don't like, well, fucking Man of Steel didn't get nominated. That was like my favorite movie of that year. It's like that's not going to fucking win anything. Like I'm not going to no. So, like, I understand.
It should win an Oscar for Superman finally whooped somebody's ass.
Yeah, on screen for the first time, and I don't mean he
not
pushed someone.
Yeah, not that bullshit nuclear man fight.
Yeah, no, like he pushed someone into a crevice in the fucking Fortress of Solitude.
Had a fight that rivaled the awkwardness of the Gorn fight with Captain Kirk.
Oh man, that Gorn sound effect is like the greatest thing ever made.
What's that?
The Gorn, like you gotta look up the Gorn
All
fight.
Right, I'll look.
It's the same sound effect on a loop. That's the sound the Gorn makes.
Okay,
it's great.
Okay, so here's the question: which do you think is? How about this? Which do you think will win, and which one do you want to win?
Fuck.
For Best Picture,
in my Heart of Hearts, Jesus, I don't know. There's like 3. Where I really would like to see them win.
All right, so what are the ones that are probably not?
I think the ones that are probably not are Ford v. Ferrari, Jojo Rabbit,
and
Little Women.
Those kind of seem like the other ones.
I think at the
very least,
the real ones that have a shot are Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, 1917, and The Irishman.
Yeah, Irishman.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah.
Well, actually, maybe not The Irishman so much now because I'd say before the Golden Globes and a couple other award shows, then yes. Parasite has actually snuck in because it won the SAG Award for Best Cast.
This is what's so weird is there's all these weird stats. It's basically mathematically.
If this movie there's a bunch of them. Like movies that are nominated for Best Picture but not nominated for Best Editing have a statistically 4% less. It's like
this is weird as fuck. But someone pointed something out about 1917 is that why the hell would that win for editing?
Mm-hmm. Right.
You know?
Yeah, no, I get that. if anything, it shouldn't win for editing because there shouldn't be that much editing.
Yeah.
Well, but it didn't get nominated.
So which do you think will win?
I think 1917 will win.
And what do you want to win? It's tough, right?
Well, I don't want to also spoil my thoughts on 1917, which isn't really
that'll be on
connected.
a separate video. That's fine.
But I'll say I wouldn't mind to see either 1917, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, or Parasite win.
Yeah.
I would be absolutely gobsmacked if Joker won, but it would be kind of awesome.
It would be amazing, but I just have a feeling it won't.
But I can also see voters of the Academy being like, watch us. Being like, watch this shit.
Yeah.
Piss off so many people who I don't care about.
So I'm kind of torn on who I want to win. It's between probably Parasite and Joker. Who I think will win. 1917 seems like the most likely candidate based on, as I said, all these weird statistics. And obviously it's pretty goddamn good.
I mean, without spoiling so much about what I thought, I'd have absolutely no problem with it winning.
Same. I wouldn't have a problem either. What about some of these other categories? What about best? You know what? What about best actor? Because I know that seems like that's the award because Joker had 11 nominations, and it seems like that's the award that it's most poised to win.
I think it's absolutely a lock. I think Joaquin has been a fucking dynamo for his whole, the past 10 years. It's like, dude's just been making good movies.
Except then I saw Marriage Story.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, you know what? I'll tell you that. I haven't seen it. That's the only one I haven't seen.
I gotta tell you something.
Oh, yeah. I was waiting for this.
Yeah.
This is it.
You know, as much shit as I've talked about how I don't like Adam Driver or whatever the fuck, I'm sorry to say, I really think, it's hard to say. I think he might deserve it just a little bit more.
Really?
It's because it's a real character, I guess. I don't know,
I don't blame you at all.
It's hard to...
I've seen some of the clips, and I'm like, Jesus
I'll
Christ.
say this. I would not be at all surprised if he plays spoiler and just steals that shit.
He pulls he
gets the upset.
An Olivia Colman over Glenn Close last year for Best Actress, if you will.
Yeah.
Remember everyone was like, she's going to win, and then Olivia Colman just totally swooped in?
Because the rules don't say, the person who wins is the one who went the most fucking crazy on set.
No, it's just...
You know what I mean? It's
it's just simple voting.
Yeah.
The Best Actor race is super tight between three. It's Joaquin, Adam, and Leo. I think Joaquin is still a lock, but Leo can also steal.
That's the other thing is there's a lot of good choices. What are the other two?
The other two I'm not as super high on, only because I haven't seen the movies. Jonathan Pryce for The Two Popes and Antonio Banderas for Pain and Glory.
I haven't seen either one of those, so
right.
I don't know.
A noticeable leaving out of somebody who I forgot. So we'll move on. I was going to say something and I just
I'll
totally
say this.
Forgot.
It's I want to say, even though I want Joaquin to win, I feel like deep down, who do I think should get it? I'm kind of leaning towards Adam Driver.
I'm shocked.
All the fucking shit I've talked, I didn't like Kylo Ren, blah, 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 all that bullshit. You know what? He did a goddamn good job in Marriage Story. And I was shocked. I thought I was going to hate that movie. I just turned it on because I thought, to hell with it. It's on Netflix. Might as well watch it since I'm so close to seeing all the nominees. And color me surprised, it was real goddamn good. Really good.
I've been meaning to... I've seen the nominees for Best Picture for the past few years, and that's the only one I haven't seen. And I know I don't have any fucking excuse.
And I would say... Scarlett Johansson would not be surprised with that.
Yeah, I kind of am leaning more towards... I always like seeing someone win who's never fucking won. And Renee Zellweger, God love her, she's already won. And while she is
seems like that's the one everyone's talking about, though.
She's another lock.
I haven't seen that movie because it's just
good.
Do I need to watch a movie about how depressing her life was?
No,
Not really.
You really don't.
No.
But she's good. I would say, if anything, watch the singing scenes.
Okay.
Because that's she's really good in those. But
all right, who else we got in that category?
You got Cynthia Erivo for Harriet, Scarlett Johansson for Marriage Story, Saoirse Ronan, Little Women, and Charlize Theron for Bombshell. I'd really like to see Scarlett Johansson win. She's been up there a few times. like, let's mix it up here, man.
I'm not feeling the Saoirse Ronan.
She's gonna win something sometime. She's been nominated like 6 times, and she's like 23 years old or some shit.
Yeah, so
she'll be fine.
She doesn't win this time. I don't know. Like I already told you. Like I thought Little Women was like it was pretty good, but to me it's one of the lesser of the Best Picture nominees.
I was shocked with how much I ended up really liking it, but I get you. But for Best Supporting Actor, I think the absolute lock is my boy Brad Pitt finally getting his first Oscar, I think, for Cliff Booth, and deservedly.
Cliff Booth was pretty iconic.
He was pretty goddamn good, man.
Who else we got in that category?
It's kind of tight. It's Tom Hanks for the Fred Rogers pick.
For doing the worst impression of Fred Rogers, who sounds like some moron who's had a stroke. Hello, neighbor.
Oh, man.
Yeah. I just said it. That's why he's unworthy of the sweater. How dare he?
I mean, he's already got he's already got 2 Oscars, man.
Yeah,
for Best Actor.
Fuck that.
So.
He doesn't need another.
Anthony Hopkins. That's
how it works, right?
Anthony Hopkins for 2 Popes, and then Al Pacino and Joe Pesci for The Irishman.
I don't get the Joe Pesci one at all. It's not that he didn't do a good job. His character is just not like he doesn't emote much.
That's another whole conversation. But the one thing I will say I don't get is I get that. I don't get nominating them and then not nominating De Niro for Best Actor. I don't fucking get it. Like, if you want to not nominate De Niro and then like nominate like Al Pacino.
Why the hell do you need 2? Al Pacino was clearly the best out of everyone in that movie. Why
couldn't you really Antonio Banderas and Jonathan Pryce over De Niro and The Irishman? Yeah. I don't fucking know. Like, really? I don't know. Without getting too much in that, I thought De Niro was as worthy as Joe Pesci as being nominated.
You know what?
For
I
his
think
work.
It's not that either one of them were bad. It's just, Al Pacino was awfully animated.
He's the best part.
Yes,
I mean,
exactly.
Of the movie without super spoiling it, but he's really fucking good.
It's a shame Adam Sandler didn't get the nominee for Uncut Gems.
It's a shame Uncut Gems didn't get nominated for anything.
Yeah, that's true. But this just happens. Sometimes the year gets tight and things are just going to get snubbed or not voted or whatever.
Yeah, it happens. Supporting actress, Kathy Bates for Richard Jewell, Scarlett Johansson for Jojo Rabbit. Again, but a different category.
I thought her performance in Marriage Story is a lot better.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
Florence Pugh, Little Women, Margot Robbie, Bombshell, and then Laura Dern for Marriage Story. I think will probably win.
I think it's between Laura Dern and what was the first one? Kathy Bates. It could be just like because there's always a couple rando winners.
Oh yeah,
because there's there's always sometimes where there's a movie that not a lot of people has seen, but it wins something. Mm-hmm. I feel like that could be the one, or at least one of those. Laura Dern was really good though in Marriage Story.
That's what I heard. I heard the supporting cast in that movie was really good, including Ray Liotta.
Yeah, Ray Liotta was really. Well, that's what's so funny is Ray Liotta and Laura Dern are kind of these kind of an awful yin and yang in a way. Like they're opposite, but also kind of the same because they're just both pieces of shit in that movie. But they play it so well. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, Marriage Story was shockingly good.
I gotta fucking watch. I mean, I'm gonna. I gotta get around to it.
I really I'm telling you, I didn't want to hate it going in, but I was almost certain. I think it was the title. I'm just like, that's a shitty, dumb title. It reminds me of Love Story,
Oh yeah.
So you think, well, this has got to be a piece of shit just like that, or what,
Final shout out though. Good on the Academy for nominating Parasite for other shit besides best, it's not best foreign language film now. It's called best international feature film is what it's called. It got nominated for more than that. It got nominated for director, picture, production design, which I loved. I'm like,
they built the whole house?
Yeah,
I did not know that.
Fucking nominated for that.
They built that entire house.
Oh yeah, and good on you, Academy.
And the neighborhood was all built around it. Yeah. I couldn't believe. I thought that was a real location.
No, they fucking built that shit. Screenplay for Parasite? Hell yes.
I feel like that's one it's crazy talk if that doesn't win best screenplay. Because what is it going up against?
I gotta scroll up. Marriage Story, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, 1917, and Knives Out. So, a couple of those.
Yeah, I feel like Knives Out is going to win for some reason.
No, I think it'll be Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Just as a prestige thing. Like, I feel like Academy voters feel like, what? Tarantino's screenplay? Right? Here he goes. Writing. Just give it to him. Forget it. And, like, that's fine. I feel like maybe Noah Baumbach could spoil.
I feel like Parasite is by far the best script out of all of these.
I think you're right.
Because Storage, God damn it. Marriage Story is really, really good, but it's
a lot simpler.
Yeah, and that's not really a bad thing because it's a movie about that subject matter can work very easily when it's simple. Mm-hmm. But I mean, there's just so much clever shit going on in Parasite, and I finally saw it twice, and there's so much stuff I didn't catch.
Same on the second,
including that rockin' song.
Yeah.
So when Jessica does the Chicago, Illinois, the second part is the tune of some protest song about the Docto Islands. Mm-hmm. Docto is our land. Mm-hmm. And people, listeners at home, you gotta search for the 80s version. So when you go on YouTube, search Docto is our land original Jessica jingle. Not this bullshit like, this new version. It's awful. You gotta find the 80s one with that rockin' guitar intro.
Oh, man.
No, I mean, like, to me, that's like, that is clearly the best script.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I don't think it's even close.
And then adapted screenplay, closing out the big five. Yeah. Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, Little Women, Two Popes, and Joker. I wouldn't be shocked if Joker won. But
I gotta be honest.
Keep a watch for Little Women.
As much as I love Joker, and even though it was my number one movie of the year, I don't think the script is the main thing that made it so great.
I feel that way about a lot of the other 11 things that they nominated Joker for. Like sound editing and sound mixing. Yeah. I was like, yeah, it's good, but it's not like Ford v Ferrari where the sound is like it's part of character in the fucking movie.
Yeah.
Wow. You know? Or like the production design. Like, the production design's good, but I didn't think it was... Actually, they didn't nominate for production design.
I don't know. I don't think it'll win for script because I think the two main driving forces that made Joker what it was...
Mm-hmm. The acting.
The acting and the cinematography.
See, that I actually think should have been nominated, and it did. But
that's got some tough competition.
Yeah.
Because
Irishman...
Jojo Rabbit's on there, right?
Cinematography?
Yeah.
It's Irishman, Joker, Lighthouse, 1917, and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Jojo Rabbit?
No Jojo Rabbit, and I think
again, I thought Jojo Rabbit was just all right, but if I thought three things that really stood out... Mm-hmm. Other than the two kids' performance was pretty obvious standout, but the production design and the cinematography.
I think the clear winner for cinematography is going to be 1917 for obvious reasons.
Oh, well, duh, yeah.
But in terms of imagery, well, I was going to say, like, just pure imagery, Joker has some unshakable shit.
That sure does.
I still can't get certain images out of my head.
Yeah.
But... yeah, that pretty much covers most of the Academy Awards that like we super are into. Visual effects, like
the songs this year. I listened to all 5 of them.
Oh, really?
Oh my god, they're all fucking terrible songs. I'll say this though: if like gun to head, gotta choose which one, I'd say it's between the Frozen one and Stand Up from Harriet.
Really?
If I had... the Randy Newman one was Randy Newman not trying for 2 minutes and 12 seconds. It fucking sucks.
I still think it's...
like, boobity bop, I'm drunk at a piano, don't throw away garbage, boobity boop. Like, what the fuck is this?
Randy Newman also nominated for Best Original Score for Marriage Story.
Oh, yeah, the score was pretty good in that.
See, it's just so weird. I'm like, I can't imagine the score.
What were the other scores?
Joker, Little Women... 1917 and Star Wars.
Gotta give it to Joker.
I mean, Hilda, man. Her score informed on the product of the movie.
I watched an interview. Like, the movie changed because of her music.
And that's like, fuck yeah, dude. She's been killing it, too. She did the score for Chernobyl.
I thought, well, she tapped into the darkness of Joker.
It's spooky.
Yeah, no, her score fits like a glove with the movie.
Yeah.
Where... I hate saying this about John Williams, but And I know that I didn't like Star Wars 9, and like we talked about that, but honestly, besides the Rey theme, which was really a reprise from the other two movies, there's not a lot for a John Williams score. It was not the god tier John Williams that I'm used to.
Yeah, he's just up there because he's the
because
man.
He's going to be nominated.
Yeah, that's fine.
I feel like Joker.
I'll be shocked and a little upset if he wins.
Yeah,
only because the Joker, man, it's a fucking better score.
I don't think Joker's going to win, but I feel like it should.
You don't think it'll win?
I don't think. What were the other choices?
Little Women, Marriage Story, 1917, and Star Wars.
I feel like it's going to be Star Wars or
really
either that or didn't Desplat guy? He did Little Women. The score for Little Women was pretty goddamn good. I think it's between that and Star Wars.
He did the score he won for Grand Budapest Hotel score, which is also pretty fun. He's just fucking good at music, man. Like he knows regardless of the movie, it's like the music's good in whatever the fuck he makes. Also, underrated score of Alexandre Desplat, Godzilla.
Yeah,
the 2014 Godzilla.
I like that one.
Good ass score.
Yeah.
But, I think that pretty much actually wraps up the Academy Awards, for me at least.
What about animation?
Oh. This one's kind of slim pickings. Except there's a couple movies here I wanted to see but didn't get to. My question is,
will the smart people one finally win?
It might! So you got How to Train Your Dragon, The Hidden World, Toy Story 4, Missing Link, Klaus, the Santa Claus movie.
I hope, you know what, I take back what I've said about The Irishman. I hope nothing from and Marriage Story. I hope nothing from Netflix wins.
And then the one I've really been hearing about, but sort of haven't seen, is I Lost My Body.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell that is. I know it's not like a happy cartoon.
No, it's like an adult-ish, like French thing.
I don't remember what it's about. It's about real shit, though.
I hope Missing Link wins. I saw Missing Link last year. It's not great, but it's fun. It's a fun movie. And you know what? Stop motion, those fucking movies don't win often.
It's going to be...
Not Frozen 2, that's for sure.
Good. It's going to be Toy Story 4, probably.
I think you're right. I hope Missing Link wins, but I think you're right. It'll be Toy Story.
Here's to hoping. Mm-hmm. I mean, so does that pretty much do it for the Oscars?
I think so.
Yeah, so I will definitely not be tuning in, but I will check in to see who won after.
That's fine.
Yeah. Oh, wait, what about visual effects? Who we got?
Avengers Endgame, Irishman, Lion King, 1917, and Star Wars.
You know, it's such bullshit. You know Irishman is going to win. Well, I have a problem with that because I know that I know that de-aging is very hard to do, and if it looks good, like, great, but I feel like visual effects should be a more all-encompassing thing.
Yeah, I think they'll give it to Avengers.
I'd like it to be Avengers.
I really do not want it to be Irishman.
I really don't, but I know it is.
Because
I feel like the Academy voters are like, oh, sweet, not one of those fucking stupid kids movies. I'll vote for that one. Because didn't they do that with Pleasantville?
Oh, yeah, or like Babe won Best Visual Effects over Apollo 13.
Wow.
Yeah, and like
Thanos looks real, okay?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I would even be okay with like 1917 winning over Avengers Endgame. Like, I'd be fine with that.
I just want Avengers to win just like, so it's just one time for visual effects, and then, I don't know.
You have to give it to Avengers. You just kind of have to. That whole movie is visual effects.
I don't know, though. Martin Scorsese.
Oh, my God.
He may have turned people against voting for that.
It could be. Or he might have turned them to Avengers Endgame's side. I don't know. If I were voting, I'd probably vote for Endgame just because the effects in that look too good to pass up.
Yeah, but you know what the problem is, though, and why there's always an argument against a lot of these blockbusters? Because it's literally impossible to make every shot look amazing, you could always pick out one or two like really, really shitty shots, and you know, that might stick in your mind.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. But, yeah. Well, I hope it's...
What about Star Wars' chances?
Not as good as Endgame, I think, but it's got a shot.
Yeah.
You see the 3 Disney movies here are nominated.
Oh, wow.
Endgame, Lion King, and Star Wars. Isn't that crazy?
I guess we're forgetting Lion King has a pretty decent... I don't know.
It's kind of a shot. It's kind of a cutting off its nose to spite its own face type visual effects thing. Because it's like, yeah, the visual effects are good, but they're bad. It's like the visual effects are the problem with the movie. Like, these animals being so photorealistic looking is the reason why this movie sucks.
Well, then therefore shouldn't it win because they look so real?
That'd be me.
Whatever. It's gonna be Irishman.
It could be Irishman. I think it's gonna be Endgame. I hope it's not Irishman for reasons that are going to be discussed in another video.
Yeah, as much as I've been like sort of down on Marvel lately, I think it would just be cool for Endgame to win one. That's all.
Yeah,
that's I guess how I see it.
Mm-hmm.
So with that, I guess we're done.
Yeah.
Editing. Who you got?
I'll say Irishman.
Okay, sure.
Just because Thelma.
Oh yeah. Okay. Thelma Schoonmaker.
Yeah.
Longtime collaborator of Martin Scorsese.
Yeah, I'd like to see her win again. I think she's won before, once or twice. But yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
But other than that, that's all I got.
Yeah, I don't. Who are the editing nominees?
Ford v Ferrari, Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, Joker, and Parasite.
Ooh, those are all tough calls.
Mm-hmm.
Basically,
Parasite's pretty fucking well put together too.
I hope Parasite wins picture and director.
That'd be that'd be pretty goddamn dope.
It would be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I think it should win director.
The way things have been going though the past couple Oscars, I wouldn't be shocked if someone won best director and a different movie won best picture. Because that happened last year.
I think there's a chance of that because there are so many movies that are kind of close in quality.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll have to wait and see.
As per usual.
Yes, and that'll of course be after I watch Rock and Roll High School and The Phantom.
Well, speaking of bad-mouthing Marvel movies, so to speak.
Yeah. Okay, so Scott Derrickson has exited Doctor Strange into the Multiverse as director due to creative differences. So this kind of brings up the question about Marvel and how their directors seem to have less and less control and perhaps too many characters and too many plot lines to juggle could possibly be behind the creative differences.
Yeah. It's become like a revolving door for a lot of not just Marvel products and projects, if those are interchangeable, but Disney ones as well. We talked about this with the D.B. Weiss and David Benioff getting, I don't know if did they get fired or they leave? Well, they're no longer doing the Star Wars thing they were going to do. Let's just
call them not, yeah.
They're not doing it.
They quit, at the very least.
They are no longer.
Yeah.
But, yeah, this is something that's been an issue ever since, was Alan Taylor?
Yeah.
And they were kind of cycling through. It was supposed to be Patty Jenkins. Before that, it was possibly Kenneth Branagh returning. Then Alan Taylor had some issues with Marvel's creative control over Thor the Dark World during production. That movie almost didn't even get finished. It almost got Alan Smithied, it sounded like. You got the Edgar Wright fiasco with Ant-Man.
Yeah. And I feel like a lot of Edgar Wright, it's pretty well known that a lot of that stemmed from he just wanted this to be this Ant-Man thing. Mm-hmm. And they said, no, you have to incorporate the whole Marvel deal.
Yeah. Yeah, and you're seeing a bit more of that here. I wish I could credit the person that framed it this way, but I remember reading a bunch of shit about this, so I don't exactly know who it was, if it was from Collider or what. But someone put it very perfectly. Do you remember the story that came out where Scott Derrickson said it is going to be a horror movie?
Yeah.
It was like a week or two ago.
But that was always going to be bullshit because it's... Yeah, to cite another person, you remember when Michael Rappaport went on that whole thing? I'm so sick of Marvel saying, oh, this is Spider-Man, but it's like a teen movie. No, it's not.
Well, that's exactly what happened, though.
But I agree with them because even when they say it's this, but it's also blank, it's like, but is it really?
No.
As much as I love Winter Soldier, in fact, I think that's still the best MCU movie, is it really a political thriller? No, it is an action movie, a superhero movie first and foremost, with elements of the political thriller.
But did you see what happened after that story came out?
There was that thing about people are talking about Kevin Feige saying, but it's going to be PG-13.
Well, no, but he
kind of dismissed it or something.
He said, well, no, it's not really going to have horror elements in it. So the pattern is thus, and it happened, I think, in the span of like a couple weeks. Scott Derrickson comes out and says, yeah, we're going to incorporate horror elements in this. It's going to be a bit like a horror movie. Kevin Feige says, no, it's not. And then a little bit later,
Kevin Feige had flashbacks of the Hellraiser sequels.
Yeah, no,
it's not.
And then Scott Derrickson's ass was grass. So it's like, dude, it's pretty goddamn, not flagrant, but it's obvious. It's like, it's their way or the highway. And that's fine. They're doing pretty goddamn well at it. You know, like
they're making money, and that's what counts, I suppose.
Money. And their movies are never unwatchable. Like, even the worst ones are just like, this is not very good. This is not the best version of it, but it's
unwatchable
fine.
is pretty harsh, but there's a couple that have plenty of unwatchable material in them.
Right, but even then, it's like, what is that, 2?
Yeah, I'd say Guardians, Captain Marvel.
Guardians 2.
Or sorry, excuse me, Guardians 2, Jesus.
No, I don't blame you.
They're like night and day, in my opinion, on 1 and 2.
But you're right, it's like, even those are just like, yeah, it's not like you said, it's not like fucking Hellraiser. What was the one that Scott Derrickson did?
I can't remember, but
it's not like a Hellraiser sequel.
Yeah, basically Hellraiser 4 and on.
Yeah.
Hellraiser Bloodline is a legit Alan Smithy.
Yeah, exactly.
Because Kevin Yeager directed it. Mm-hmm. But excuse me, Alan Smithy directed it.
Yeah, Alan Smithy's got quite the filmography.
Yeah, this Alan Smithy guy.
He's got to be like at least 100 years old.
Working?
How old is he?
Why does he keep getting rehired?
No, but you're right. This is a growing pattern. It's not like...
Well, it's like we said before, bunch of episodes ago, Marvel's directors don't matter until they do.
Yeah, until they start to become a thorn in the side of whomever.
Well, and I know this is...
Joss Whedon. Joss Whedon had issues on Age of Ultron with Marvel.
And he was one of the ones where I thought his voice was most present in the movie.
Absolutely, especially in the dialogue.
Movies. Yeah.
In Avengers, for sure.
In Avengers, definitely. I feel like, really, other than Taika Waititi, it's hard for me to say that any of these Marvel movies feel like there's a unique voice there. Even Black Widow, for example. I know it's early and I haven't seen the whole movie, but from the trailer, did you really get the impression that, this is a Kate Shortland movie?
They got to her, man.
That's what it feels like. And I feel like Shang-Chi's going to be the same thing. Mm. And that's going to be an even worse case because there's a guy who hasn't done, at least not to my knowledge, hasn't done martial arts movies or big, crazy, blockbusters.
Yeah, it's the same deal with like these even like auteur-y quote-unquote directors like Ryan Coogler's who made like Fruitvale Station and Creed. And Creed. It's like, this feels like Creed and Black Panther, I get it, but like, here's one. How much you think The Eternals is going to be like Chloe Zhao's film The Rider?
That's what
I would be shocked. I'd be fucking stunned. And it's not even because it's sci-fi. Give me I swear to God, if it looks anything like The Rider, in terms of cinematographic quality, I'll fucking eat my hat. It's not. It's going to look palatable to a mass audience. That's what it's supposed to look like.
And this is what's weird is when Marvel started, it seemed like they hired directors who, weren't necessarily your first top, they're not Spielberg, but, what the hell is the guy? The guy who directed Honey, I Shrunk the Kids? Joe Johnston.
Your guys that are game. Your Louis Leterriers. The guys, like...
Did Wolfman. It's like,
yeah,
like I can see how you connected point A to point... I see how you connected the dots, and that made sense to you.
Like, even Jon Favreau was like, he could play ball. Like, he could do a studio picture like an Elf or a what have you.
Right, that's what I mean. There's some sort of experience in working with special effects, stunts, larger scale things.
Larger crew.
Yeah, larger crew, lots of extras for bigger scenes, bigger concept movies. Mm-hmm. Why the hell they keep doing this hire an indie director bullshit, I don't know.
Because they're easily moldable, I think. That's very easy.
Well, yeah, because no indie director is going to or a lot of them aren't going to say no.
And not a lot of auteur directors are going to say yes.
And then they make $1 billion, even if it sucks ass. But that's the way it goes right now. Jurassic World is another example.
Captain Marvel.
Yeah,
$1 billion.
Yeah, it seems like every studio is doing that. I don't know. I thought Marvel was for a while doing the smarter thing, which was, again, hire someone who's not the number one choice, but someone who can play ball, but also has an understanding of larger concept movies and filmmaking and larger crews.
But instead, a movie like Ant-Man gets the director of Yes Man and Bring It On. Not throwing shade at Peyton Reed, but it's to look at that and say like, yep, he is the guy. He's the person to direct this movie. It's like it's just not how it is.
I hate this cynical market research approach to making movies. Mm-hmm. Well, according to this algorithm and this thing that was just reads data and this artificial intelligence machine over here that isn't a fucking human being, we should do the following things. It's a little ridiculous. That's all I'm saying.
No, I agree.
And test audiences and all this horse shit.
We'll see who they end up getting. I wouldn't be shocked if they pick like if they pick some like indie horror movie director, kind of like what they did with Doctor Strange and Scott Derrickson, who at the time had directed like some like he did Exorcism of Emily Rose, but like was mostly in like smaller budget horror. I wouldn't be shocked if they pick. Here's a prediction. I bet they pick Oz Perkins, director of Gretel and Hansel.
Okay.
There's mine.
I'll just go with whoever directed It Follows, just because.
Yeah, Robert Mitchell.
I have no idea.
Guy who did that movie that got delayed 83,000 times that we never ended up watching, Under the Silver Lake.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
He's not busy right now, I don't think. I don't think he's got a movie coming out.
Hold on, Robert. We're not thinking like Marvel right now. What's a movie that has no special effects, nothing? Okay, I got it. Whoever directed that movie, God, what the hell? It was this real small indie movie with Jessica Roth, whatever her name.
Jessica Roth?
Patton and Tater Tot.
Oh my God.
There's a cast of like 10 people, takes place in Bumblefuck, Nebraska, and is a small character story. Let's hire him for multiverse madness fucking boogaloo.
I wouldn't be shocked now that you mentioned Jessica Roth if they went after the guy who did Happy Death Day.
No, that had too much stuff in it.
That makes too much
smaller.
sense.
No, I got it. We should get the guy who directed My Dinner with Andre. What screams out Marvel than two people sitting across each other at a dinner table talking with one location?
No, wait a minute. I got a better idea.
What do you got?
That desk lamp right there. Look at it.
What about it?
It's ready. That has nothing to do with Marvel. Okay. It's ready to direct our movie.
You know, on the desk lamp, he'll fucking listen to us. That's what Marvel's thinking.
It won't talk back like that Patty Jenkins tried to.
No, fuck it. We're in the technology age. Just get a robot.
Yeah.
Beep, boop, bop. This scene is going to have things happening. The cinematographer is, how should we shoot this? Beep, boop, bop. Who the fuck cares? We will make money.
Mostly medium wide shots.
Make it look sort of like TV. Boo. Okay, there you go.
So basically, we're pretty excited for this Doctor Strange sequel.
They might as well just have a goddamn robot direct this.
A little bit.
All right, so, yeah, what were we talking? Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Movie we didn't give a shit about, but it's more the principle the matter and this trend. Please, God, someone make it fucking stop, but that'll require people to stop going. I don't know.
Well, we'll probably report back when this movie finds another director.
Man, if only Mel Gibson said yes.
Oh, to Suicide Squad?
Because, I mean...
That would have been wacky. Awesome.
Maybe that's the new thing. It should be like, Marty, since you dissed our movies, I don't think you're game for it. No, I'm game. I can do it.
Marty, here's a comic for you. It's called 100 Bullets.
Ooh, that would work though.
No, right?
That's like actually his thing.
I think I can pull something out of this.
I think I can find a way to make the guy handing the briefcase with the bullets. It's like Catholic guilt. I can work with this.
I mean, I hate to be that guy that's making this a partisan thing, but I'm betting on black here, man, and I mean DC Black. DC Black Label. I don't fucking know. Whatever they got going there, I'm like, I kind of like what they got.
I just hope they do the X-Men who gives a fuck route. Let's just make whatever we want and a bunch of it.
Yeah.
And some of it, and what I mean by that is some of it'll suck, but some of it'll be good instead of all of it being bad.
Just hope they don't get bought by Disney. Like Fox.
Yeah. Well, we've gerrymandered it, so we don't own the majority of everything, but just under it.
We don't own all the Looney Tunes. Well, actually, we do own all the Looney Tunes except Jabberjaw.
Porky Pig can only be in team-ups.
Yeah.
but on the inverse, Porky Pig solo movies, which are still owned by Warner Brothers, can have the other Looney Tunes in them.
Actually, we own all the Looney Tunes stuff except Back in Action because it sucks.
How dare you? That movie is the best movie I've ever seen.
It's definitely a big swing. And I gotta give him props for that Steve Martin wig.
I fell asleep when I watched it last.
Yeah.
I was tired, but I think it was also that it wasn't good. Because you know how when you're tired, you're watching a movie and you think, fuck, I gotta stay awake. And I'll do that and I'll be like, I'll rewind a scene 4 times because, god damn it, I really want to watch this movie. It's so good. And then there's the ones that are like, I'm tired, but this movie also it's not enticing me. And then you just fall asleep. So the point is, Porky Pig solo movies are going to be hot. They're going to be the next thing.
Coming to Disney Plus.
Coming to Disney Plus. Jesus.
Under the Warner Brothers hub.
Yeah, just fuck, please
make... What are we speaking into existence here?
Yeah, please make this indie director bullshit stop. Mm-hmm. And for the people who are like, well, but it worked this one time out of 1,000, congrats. You found the needle in the haystack.
Right.
Jesus. It's not like it probably wasn't directed by the goddamn stunt coordinators and visual effects teams anyway. Mm-hmm. Fuck.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's just like this is driving me crazy. Anyway, on to some better news. Superman Red Sun animated movie trailer came out. The release date is February 25th for digital and March 17th for Blu-ray and 4K Ultra HD. So, what did you think about this trailer?
These DC animated original or DC Universe animated original movies, right?
Yeah.
That's what it's called now? DCUAOM.
I think, no, but this is separate, isn't it?
I don't know. Jesus Christ.
Or will it be because of spoilers? And
oh, no, you're right. It would be a standalone movie separate from the DC animated movie.
Got
well, it kind of has to be because it's, an Elseworlds story.
Yeah, it's an Elseworlds.
But they've been kind of slacking on these. Hush was a big disappointment from what I heard.
Hush sucked. You know, honestly, in hindsight, I should have at least had it in honorable mentions for worst movie of the year.
And that is a commandment level sin. It's not a venial sin. That's a cardinal sin. That's murder.
Yeah, that's inexcusable.
That's like fucking up Gwen Stacy's death or something. It's Batman Hush is one of it's on the Mount Rushmore of Batman stories. It's for sure.
If it's not my favorite, it might be tied with whatever I'd put it with.
No Man's Land, maybe?
Probably a tie between...
But that's almost unfair, because it's like 1,000...
Yeah, No Man's Land is like 1,000 issues. Normal-sized arc. I'm giving it to Hush.
But they've definitely been slacking.
Despite the bird drop bullshit.
Yeah. They've definitely been slacking, though. And this looks pretty good. I remember the imagery. The only thing I'm slightly disappointed with is... not necessarily the quality of the animation, but the animation as a interpretation of the art from the comic. I remember the art from the comic being a lot different. You know what I mean?
Kind of cartoonish in a way.
From the comic? I remember it looking like
not quite golden age, but
it looked sort of golden agey, like
a little bit.
But it was also like a lot darker, like
yeah.
in terms of lighting, like everything was like very like sodium lamp lit looking, sort of.
I'll say this. I don't think the art is that much of a departure, for instance, to bring up Hush as a comparison. Mm-hmm. Deep down, I should have probably realized Hush was going to suck from the trailer. Mm-hmm. Because the animation was not good, and the art was radically different. This, while it is a slight departure and the lighting is different, I think
closer.
It's a lot closer. It definitely rings truer to Red Sun Red Sun's source material.
There's parts in the trailer I'm like, all right, this
yeah.
is Red Sun, like the stuff with Batman, where it's like it's all red looking and they're in the dark.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is what I remember.
That is exactly what it looked like too. Well, that's the other thing is this looks a lot truer to the comic, and I know everyone talks about adaptational, accuracy, but I think it's kind of more important with the animated movies. At least hit upon the big parts, and that's where they fucked up Hush really badly.
Yeah.
I'm not going to spoil it, but the identity of Hush is one of the absolute worst parts about Hush. In addition to it's just completely changed. Huntress isn't in it.
Yeah, you mentioned what the actual twist is. And
my God, it's
kind of
fucking terrible.
It's kind of baffling.
This looks like it has all the main story elements, like Batman with his, Russian hat.
Yeah.
It ends with Superman. Wonder Woman is visiting on delegation or whatever.
Right.
And Green Lantern's the GL Corps is gonna get involved. And I think overall the animation itself looks
better,
much better than Hush. It's not quite as smooth as some of the god tier DC animation, but it does look better than a lot of the stuff they've been putting out.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. This is one of my favorite. This is one that, God damn it, this is one of those stories that like I really hope that, like Hush, I really hope that the animated adaptation doesn't like fuck over its chances of getting a live action adaptation. Because this is one of those movies that like I'd like to see a fucking like a Todd Phillips type director make. Where it's like I'm making something that's not a DCEU thing. I want to make a Superman Red Sun movie. You know, like that and Gotham by Gaslight, which the DC animated movie for was also actually pretty good.
The DC animated, Gotham by Gaslight was really good.
And the comic is fucking good too. So,
yeah,
I'm looking forward to this. And it's coming out very soon, right?
Yeah, it's coming out. Well, it depends on how you're watching it. I don't know why they do that bullshit. It's like digital, it's coming out sooner. But for those of you plebeian assholes who still use discs, fuck you. You have to wait a couple more weeks.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, you jackass. Why don't you just get digital? Get with the times, Grandpa. Go fuck yourself. That's what it feels like. That's what it feels like they're saying to me. So don't get mad at my use of profane language. They were the ones saying it.
They said it.
Yeah, they said it. But this looks pretty goddamn good. It looks pretty faithful, and I just read the comic actually not too long ago for the first time. It was awesome.
It's wild.
So for those of you playing at home, I'd suggest you read Superman Red Sun. It's real wacky. It's real good. It's got some interesting philosophy in there too.
Oh yeah.
So I'm looking forward to this for sure. All right, our next trailer on the docket here is a trailer called Come to Daddy, or for the movie Come to Daddy, starring Elijah Wood. Man, the Renaissance man he is. Grand Piano, that weird movie where it's like the chicken nuggets zombie movie.
Oh,
what the hell is it called?
Oh God, I know exactly what you're talking about. It's called. God, I gotta look this up now.
No, he was. Yeah, but the point is, Elijah Wood's been doing a lot of different things, and this movie is pretty. It's got a weird premise, but it's about a young man who meets his estranged father for the first time, and he uncovers some fucked up secrets about him. And what I like about this is it's a simple jumping off point, meeting your estranged father and then having them not be all they're cracked, all you thought they'd be cracked up to be. And then, of course, turns out his dad is a murderer, but he's also got some other weird shit going on in his house.
He's got a toilet that's a gateway to another world. Not really. It's just like a prison, but it's funny because he says, I got to take a crap. And then like the next shot is like Elijah Wood opening the toilet, and it's like a POV from the bowl. And he's looking up. We're looking up at his shocked face, staring down at the toilet. I'm like, Jesus, what did he do to the toilet? And then he starts climbing into the toilet, and you're like, oh my God, no. Oh wait, there's a ladder. Okay. I almost got excited there. I was like, is this gonna be about poop?
No. Well, not directly.
No, but this looks fucking crazy.
Yeah.
This looks weird, and I like the little niche that Elijah Wood is carving out of just like these weird, like contained but like very just weird thrillers. Like you mentioned Grand Piano, which
I really thought was great.
I think it was either written or co-written or written by Damien Chazelle.
That would explain why the
makes
music...
a lot of sense.
Side tangent. The La Cinquette song, holy shit.
Yeah.
That movie, like, because I didn't realize a lot of it, if not all of the music, was written for the movie.
Yeah.
Unreal soundtrack, as it should be.
Oh, yeah. And it's...
So this looks like it's kind of following that formula. You said a contained world that's not quite as contained as you think.
Yes, very weird villain, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, this is going to be, I think this will be fun. It's getting good marks from the critics that have seen it thus far. And
it's playing at all the cool fests.
Yeah, not like the mainstream ones.
Not the bullshit wreath fest. It's like the wacky crazy shit festival. Fantastic fest or whatever the hell. Yeah, it's playing at all the cool fests.
Right.
So I'm looking forward to this one.
As am I.
And it's not going to be too long of a wait, as it will be in select theaters and video on demand on February 7th.
Nice. Coming up pretty quick.
So on to our next story. Netflix has a new metric for counting views. Under new guidelines, 6 Underground had 83 million unique accounts watching. And the reason for that is, instead of their old metric, which counted a view as watching 70% of an episode or movie, it has now changed to if the viewer has watched 2 minutes.
Yeah, that's almost like, why would you even say, if you're this guarded, about your metrics, why would you even say that? Like, just say, oh yeah, I got 83 million views.
There was some quote where they said, oh, that's good enough to count it. It was like, I'm paraphrasing a lot, but that's basically what they were saying. And I thought, how is that good enough to count it?
The Hollywood Reporter brought up a very good point. 2 minutes of Always Be My Maybe is 2% of the film's 1 hour and 40-minute runtime, 100 minutes.
Yeah.
What movie have you ever watched ever where 2 minutes was the movie? The 2 minutes that you saw. I mean...
None?
Never.
Yeah.
I don't even... This is... I mean... It goes without... This is a story that has commentary in and of itself. Like, this is insane. This is like... This is every reason why not regulation, but like self-metricing, for lack of a better term, is just fucking insane. Like, it brings me back to like the Cuban literacy rate. It's like, well, the Cuban literacy rate is 99%. It's like, yeah, who the fuck conducts those studies? The Cuban government?
Yeah, whereas
they don't have any outside metrics.
Yeah, with Nielsen and with box office, it's
we have shit to corroborate that.
It's independently reviewed. This is not independently reviewed, and this goes all the way back to the guy who started House of Cards. He said he didn't even know the stats. And that was like from... God knows if he knows now or whatever, but, you know, the fact that they're so guarded and then they keep changing the fucking rules to ridiculous lengths. 2 minutes? The thing that I think is so annoying about that is, I mean, everyone has probably already brought this up, the autoplay. But also, it's not just autoplay. You could just leave something on, you know?
And accidentally start 6 Underground.
Yeah. Or someone's on their phone and they're not paying attention. They look up and they say, what the hell is this shit? And they're like, oh, that's that crappy Michael Bay thing. I'm changing it. Yeah. I was looking at some other stats. I think it was CNET had brought up that by adding this new metric, it inflates all the stats by a third of the old viewership. So you're really just adding a lot of fluff to your statistics.
Let's put it this way. So let's say you have a gathering to go to. Let's say it's a dinner or a party.
Yeah.
You show up for 5 minutes and leave. Did you really fucking go?
No.
And you can't fucking say you went, motherfucker. Like, you didn't go. You didn't pay. You didn't sit down and you didn't have the experience. So why does it count as going? I mean, this is just, again, it's like, this is so self-explanatory and silly. It's almost stunning to me, like, why Netflix would say this. Why they would be so candid about, like, 2 minutes is or 2% is a 2% of the thing, or not 2%. 2 minutes is a view. It's like, why would you say that?
And
That's so silly.
There's also some comparison to Netflix and Twitter and all that with how they view things.
Right.
That's a lot different because everyone knows social media is like that's always been a thing. Is you click on it. It used to be you click on it and it was a view.
Right.
And now it takes something like I think I read it was 30 seconds to count it. Mm-hmm. But everyone's pretty well aware of that with YouTube and with Twitter. But Netflix, the idea is you're supposed to be watching it as an alternative to, regular cable TV or, physical copies for, DVDs of movies or whatever the hell.
Right.
So the fact that you're using internet metrics for something that's supposed to be long-form content is really bullshit.
Yeah. And it's always going to spell bad news. It's always just going to be super dishonest if you don't allow outside metrics organizations to just tell you to tell the public how shit's going, to tell your competitors. It's not fair. It's not fair to Disney Plus.
Yeah.
They ought to know.
Yeah.
But I mean, kidding aside, it's like this is a fucking business. And like I don't believe in this like closed off like, this fortress style like, well, our in-house number system says that we're doing fine. It's like, what the fuck you mean?
Yeah, right. They're just so buried deep in debt that they're just waiting for someone to buy them.
How are you not Frank Drebin outside of the exploding building in Naked Gun? It's like, nothing to see here. Please disperse.
Yeah.
But it is super damning and kind of just laughable.
I mean, the thing that I always say, and I know this isn't comparing apples to apples, but the intent of buying a ticket to a movie, I feel like, is so much more valuable of a statistic than clicking on something. Especially, think about this too, is the ease of access. That's always going to make people more liable to watch something. That almost has nothing to do with whether it's good or not. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you'll watch a whole season of something just because you can, and then you realize, wait a minute, this show sucks.
Right.
And you wasted your whole... you waste your whole evening like binging the show and you realize this show kind of blows ass.
You can also get away with being on your phone or doing some other bullshit while watching, quote unquote, watching something at home on a streaming service versus being in a theater. You kind of have to fucking be paying attention to something or else your ass is getting either kicked out or bitched out. Yeah.
And even with other, kind of factors like promo tickets or, winning free tickets to go see something or whatever, promotions aside, you still have a person there watching it.
Right. There's still an ass in a seat.
There's an ass in a seat, and they intend to watch the whole movie. Mm-hmm. And I mean, the 70% thing was ridiculous enough.
Right.
Because how many people have left the theater and not come back?
Yeah, how many people have left for the third act and be like, yeah, I saw it. It's like, you even know what fucking happened.
I think the last time I saw someone leave, I think I've seen someone leave the theater and like not come back. It was maybe one out of, last 20 movies I've been to. Mm-hmm. And good riddance, because that fucker was on his cell phone.
We actually had a woman a couple weeks ago come into the theater an hour into the movie. During Little Women.
Weird.
And she had the audacity to come up to the person that was in her seat, be like, you're actually in my seat? And I'm like, okay, cool, but where the fuck have you been, bitch? It's weird. It was so weird to see.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's distressing, for a company that is so allegedly in their own terms fine, but it doesn't seem like it since they're pulling this shit. What are they covering up? Maybe
that's what I don't understand. Like, what is the purpose of doing this when everyone knows how full of shit you are for doing this?
Mm-hmm. No, it doesn't make sense.
What's your end game here?
I wouldn't have even said it. It's what's so shocking.
That's what I'm saying is it seems so much harder to prove an individual show or movie's worth because again, you buy a ticket, it's because you wanted to see the movie, either the marketing or you just fell upon that movie randomly, but something brought you there.
Right.
Whereas this is just kind of, you could just stumble upon it, and that doesn't really mean as much. That's not as measurable. It's like,
you've made an investment.
We sold this many tickets opening night,
right.
And then the second weekend we made still a lot. That means people liked it, And that means, maybe some people are seeing it again or whatever the hell, but this is...
A ticket is an investment.
Yes.
Whereas
this is no investment.
There's no transactional process
with
this.
The fact that there's no transactional process, and the fact that it can happen by accident proves what bullshit it is.
Exactly.
All right, so Netflix is just being wacky. That's
a word for it.
That's their prerogative, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so now we move on to Unnecessary Remake Roundup. David Leitch direct Kung Fu reboot series. Mean Girls musical, based on the Mean Girls movie, based on the Mean Girls book, is getting a movie adaptation. I'll say that again. Mean Girls the musical, based on the movie, which is based on the book, is getting a movie adaptation. And then Mark Paul Gosselaar will return as Zach Morris for the upcoming Saved by the Bell revival for NBC's Peacock streaming service. Please let it die. Please let it die. Reboot, redo, remake. I don't know how much more of this shit I can take. That's all I have to say on the matter of those three things. Alright, so moving on to our next story.
We have some more information regarding SyFy's Child's Play television show. So it seems as though Don Mancini, who is attached to work on the show as writer and showrunner, will direct the pilot episode, which involves, in addition to the pilot episode, the show involves the plot beginning when a vintage Chucky doll turns up at a neighborhood yard sale in a sleepy American town. Its populace is thrown into utter chaos when, quote, a series of horrifying murders begin to expose the town's hypocrisies and secrets. Meanwhile, the arrival of enemies and allies from Chucky's past threatens to expose the truth behind the killings, as well as the demon doll's untold origins as a seemingly ordinary child who somehow became this notorious monster.
All right. So now that we've got a synopsis, I really like this.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I feel like a traitor. Sorry, Don, but I did like the reboot, or the remake movie.
As did I.
It's still a ridiculously shitty thing of them to do. Mm-hmm. But now that we're back with the real Chucky series, I really like this premise a lot, actually. It's almost kind of has a Stephen King-esque vibe to it, because it's one of those things where you're mixing the horrors of regular life, because they're saying the town has secrets and Chucky's going to bring out the worst in these people. Mm-hmm. Sort of like It. Because Derry's such a fucked up place, and then in addition to Derry, It is there.
Right.
So I kind of like the blending of the two types of horror. I think that'll work well for a series especially.
So for the first half of this synopsis, I was kind of like, all right. I was itching for the new, and I know like Chucky, you don't necessarily need super new, but like after seeing the Child's Play remake, I was like, well, they gave us a little bit of something different. They gave us the whole, sci-fi or technological doll element. Yeah. But the second half of the synopsis is where I'm like, oh, okay, what does that mean? And it's not new so much as it is just, well, the arrival of enemies and allies from Chucky's past. I'm like, what does that mean?
I think I might be wrong about this. I think Kyle from Child's Play 2 is back.
Yeah.
And probably Andy in some capacity.
I was going to say, are we getting Andy?
Well, he's been in the last two.
Mm-hmm. The movies.
Yeah. I'm telling you, you got to see the seventh one. It's not exactly the best one, but man, it takes a huge swing, and I really want to see how that carries over into this.
Because this is the canonical sequel of sorts to that. It is the next part of that story.
Exactly. And it was... 7 is kind of a gigantic cliffhanger. And it leaves... How do I put this? It leaves a lot of options open for how you want to move along with Chucky.
Okay. Well, I mean, I champion SyFy for allowing Don Mancini a chance to carry the story on when it was seemingly snatched away from him by Orion, right?
Yeah, Orion.
And also David Kirshner's here, and he was involved with the original, right?
Yes.
So that's good. This could very well be something of note.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this, and I really like that premise.
Oh yeah.
So
hopefully this comes out, starts shooting pretty
hopefully
quick.
we get more information, and when we do, we'll be sure to let you know. On to our final story. Nothing. Yes, that's right. We pulled a fast one on you. We're done. So that'll do it for the news, and that'll do it for this episode of Bonus Features with Alex and Robert. I'm Alex.
And I'm Robert.
And if you like what you've heard, make sure to like and subscribe so you can keep up to date with all our new videos. So you can find us on all our social media at YouTube, Facebook, Shout Engine, Spotify, and iTunes/Apple Podcasts, or whatever the hell they're calling it now. Oh yeah, and then you can also find us on Twitter at Bonus Features AR.
It's a different handle.
Yeah. Anyway, so see you guys next time.